Hello and good morning Year 5s, lovely sunny day. This is the video for our reading task 1. Now normally on a Wednesday it'd be the second task, but we had a bank holiday. You'll notice it's Dr. Deduction and Wordsmith Wendy, something called POG. So if you click on Wednesday's document, click on the image and open up the document, you will see the maths. All you need to do is scroll down. It's all on one tasty document today, now, so one document for everything for Wednesday. So you'll notice you got Dr. Deduction and we've got Wordsmith Wendy. I've managed to fit the short extract for Year 5, it's a very short extract for Year 5, onto one page for you. So, let's get cracking, shall we? Obviously you've had a read through it and you've had a go with it. So, we'll go with the white ones first. He'd already seen tall ones that very morning. They'd arrived, and then I've missed a bit of the sentence out, in their metal box on wheels. Explain what POG means. Now this is at the bottom, isn't it? He'd already seen tall ones that very morning. They'd arrived at the house in their metal box on wheels. Well, he simply means he'd already seen people like this before, like tall ones. You know, we've got a girl here who we can assume that they're humans, and that metal box on wheels, that means car. So he's already seen people arrive in the car this morning. What sort of creature could POG be? Now, this is one that's a bit... could be any answer, remember, as long as you give evidence. With our Dr. Deduction, remember, I think this because it says this. So you could say, I think he's a dog because it says that he's got a human scent, he's sniffing the air. You could say that it's some sort of woodland fantasy creature. You just have to pick the evidence out. So find one or two pieces of evidence. I think he's this because of this, and I can't argue with you because it's plausible. The orange ones. Why do you think the girl is in the woods? So there's evidence in here. We've got that again. As long as you pick the evidence out for me, I think something because it says this. So you might have something like I think she's upset and lost because POG comes across her crying. And she's on her own. I think she's ran away because she's on her own in the middle of a forest. You know, as long as what you think is backed up by evidence, it's plausible, guys. The other orange one. What might POG's hackles be? Now, this one's a Wordsmith Wendy. It's here, look. So, POG's hackles immediately stood on end. Well, stood on end means to stick up. You may or may not know this word. It's a good word to have in the bank, really. Hackles are like, you know when a dog or a wolf is snarling, its hackles are kind of like its sticky up bit of fur to try and make itself look big. If you're not sure, do Google it, have a look what hackles are. It's to make the creature look big and scarier, because it's kind of like warning the creature to back off. Or he's alert to something that could be dangerous, which is what POG is here. He doesn't know if it's dangerous or not yet. What do you get the impression POG lives in the area? Why? Well, I'm going to say that part of the answer has to be yes, because there's a lot of evidence at the start here. He'd been patrolling for an hour. Not being funny. If you're patrolling, that means you're guarding something. You're patrolling a castle. You know you've been there. You live there. If you're patrolling somewhere, you know where you are. The fact that he skipped over tree roots, it gives himself, you know, you get the impression that he's familiar with the place. But I have to say, the fact that he's patrolling tells you that he's in somewhere he knows. Write two pieces of evidence that might make POG appealing to the reader. Yeah, why is this not what is this dark creature? Ooh, is the girl going to be okay? Instantly, I get the impression, for some reason, that POG isn't going to hunt this girl down. So what? You need two pieces of evidence that make the creature appealing. It could be just subtle words like the fact he skipped over tree roots rather than, you know, a darker thing than that. But I think it's probably as you go further down. The fact that he peeked out from behind a bush instead of, his eyes leered towards the prey, nodded in understanding. The fact he's seen the girl crying and he's gone, oh yeah, okay. So that I think maybe it's the vocabulary choice that makes the reader have a positive impression on Pog. Okay? Hope you did alright with that. I know when it's dot deduction, it's a bit tricky for me to just give you an answer, but don't forget, plausible. I think this because it says this. Brilliant.